Okay, are you ready? Hi everyone and welcome to our YouTube channel where as always your hosts Arne and Carlos, and we are back with a grand finale of our spring along.
Yes.
So what have we been doing the past 5 weeks, Arne?
We have done a crochet flower and we have done new blocks
Yep.
based on what we did during the quarantine knitting. The flower was finished last week.
So now hopefully if you get the pattern you'll know how to crochet it and you will know how to join it, and it is super easy, and this is something that anybody can achieve from a new beginner to a very advanced crocheter.
And please hashtag us so we can see what you make of your flowers.
Yeah, because we have a competition that we'll be talking about in a while.
And then we have the new blocks, which we are creating something new out of. I think we are actually making a new UFO.
Yeah, so here we've got the 5 new blocks that we did. So we've got Helmer here, right? And then we've got this beautiful dove, the symbol of peace, which is very relevant nowadays.
This is inspired of the Faroe Islands. The pattern.
Yeah, from...
Faroe Island.
Yeah, the Faroese.
Faroe,
Yeah, it's the Faroe Islands.
And this is some
Tulips.
out in the corners.
And then we've got a little 8-leaf rose surrounded by a few hearts. Loving the colors. I'm loving the blocks in felted tweed. This one I remember very well. This is from the pandemic.
Yeah, but this is also felted.
Yeah, this is done in the same.
Yeah, this is felted.
This is done in felted tweed, the same as these, but this is one of the designs that we came up with in the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then we've got a few others that we'll show you in a minute, also from the time when we were designing these during the pandemic. And you can get all of these blocks if you go to arnecarlos.com. And go to the blog, and you can choose the quarantine knitting as the search word, and then all of these will pop up. The old ones, the new ones, they're already up there because I've been putting a little sticker on them so that they keep on the top so people can download them for free.
Yeah.
So Arne, we had this, we've been, selling this or touting this kind of new amazing UFO that nobody knew they needed until they see this.
Yeah, because now...
I think that we need to show everybody what we're planning on doing with our squares.
Because now we are planning to do a sweater based on the squares. So for this these 6 blocks, we have actually we have put in like the decreases for the neckline. So these 6 blocks are from the old blocks.
Yeah.
But now they have the neck opening. And what we were thinking we should do now today is just to show you how you can start to make the rib around the neck on these blocks. So we have actually, this is just a little piece of one block that is the front of the sweater. On the back in the middle we have just a little bit more, you see, but still not much. And on the sides we have a few stitches on the sides, and on the front it's deeper, you see. And we have picked up stitches, and now we have equal numbers on each side from what we picked up and from what we put on hold. And what we will do now is we will make a rib with this yarn. I think that's a beautiful color.
It is, yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but it's
they're all beautiful.
Yeah, I think we have enough for... We have some of these yarns, we have 1 ball, and some we have 2.
Yeah.
But the idea is that all of the blocks for this piece will have the light color as the pattern, and then the rest in blue and purple and green and brown.
And these are all felted tweed by Rowan, one of our favorite yarns. Sometimes pairing the colors is a little bit challenging with this yarn, but as Arne was saying, when you have this idea that you use a lighter color for the pattern and then a stronger color for the background, and then you use many different colors, it actually becomes cohesive anyway, and then most of the colors will work very well together, if not all. I mean, you could actually even put a little dash of pink and it would probably work as well.
It will work as well. So now let's just start to knit around so you can see how we do it. Because when you pick up stitches from the side, you see they get a little bit long, and it's very kind of random how we pick them up. So when you when you start and knit the rib, because we're going to do a rib with one knit and one purl, you can't just knit like this because that is too open. So for this one, you have to, in Norwegian, it's a vridd stitch.
Yeah, a twisted stitch.
Twisted. In English, it's called to be knit in the back loop. And
through
the back loop.
Through the back
in
loop.
this case, it makes sense because you can actually knit in the back on this one. So that's, you see, then you get a tighter stitch. On the next one, this will be a purl, but this one you can't knit in the back loop the way it came on the needle. So this one you actually have to twist before you knit it. So I just make a twist on it and then I purl it to make it tighter. And then the next is a knit. This one will also be too open if you knit in the back. So in this case, I will move it like this to be able to knit it and make it tighter. So that was, and this will be too open, so I just twist it before I purl it. So this way you make the stitches more tight and you don't get like holes. These next ones are normal stitches, that is just, they came from, like, they've been on hold, or what you call that? Like on an extra needle.
Maybe they've been on this.
Yeah, a
Stitch holder?
Stitch holder.
Yeah.
And then, so this you can just knit as they are. So for these stitches is no problem. You just knit and purl your way around. So, and the last stitch, this is the last stitch of the pattern. And we always end the last stitch on each row by knitting both yarns, because then you get a nicer edge on your block.
Yeah.
So this is not 2 stitches, this is 1. So you knit these 2 together. And then you purl your way and knit your way over to the other side. So you see when the stitches has been on hold, it's peanuts.
Very easy.
But when it comes to the place where you pick up stitches from the side, you have to think. And sometimes, like when you have knitted your first round, you might find that there are still some loose stitches, or there are like tendencies to be whole under the rib. You just go back and you lift the yarn from the back up on the needle to tighten it up. That is almost like what we showed in the Setesdal series, where we had Annemor as a guest.
Yeah.
Where she showed how to tighten up looser stitches. This is exactly the same way what we do, and we also do that when we do socks. If you get a hole, you just go on the back and you lift, I think it's called the bar.
Yeah.
So you just, if it's a hole, you just lift one of these behind here, like this. Put that up on the needle.
Yeah.
So now we are on the purl and we are still on the stitches from the hole. So just finish these and then we go back where it goes up again. Then you have to think. So on these 4 are from the whole stitch holder. This is fine. So now this will be a purl, but you see this is quite open. So just twist it before you purl it. And you see now this is a little bit open. So now on the next round, when you knit, you will lift
A stitch from the or
one of the
bar,
bars up
and knit it together with a stitch.
and knit it together.
That way you tighten everything
Yeah,
up.
and this you can do even on the 3rd round if it's
Yeah, you can do
necessary.
it as many times as you
Yeah.
need after as you go up. Yeah.
So this one seems to come out nice. This one, I think we twist this one. But there's no right and wrong. You have to do what you think is best to have nice stitches. So this one you twist again. And that was a knit. So can do, that was a purl. One more. Okay, so you see, you twist the stitches to make them tighter if necessary. And most of the time it's necessary when you go on the stitches from the side.
Yeah.
I think that's what we should say about this now. Now we just have to see if we ever finish this one, or if some of you might make one and finish one. But I think it will be nice with all these blocks. So you see on this side it's a bit open yet, so I think we have to go back here and lift some bars on the next round to close the hole. And you might have seen also that on the blocks this time we have loose ends, and that is because we keep these ends because we're going to sew the blocks together with
Kitchener?
the tail.
With Kitchener or?
For this one I didn't do Kitchener. For this one I just went under the side stitches by going back and forth like this.
Yeah. So the cool thing about doing squares or rectangles, I mean, some people actually, they knit these and they get squares, other people get rectangles. But if you do them, you know, all the same, the really cool thing about this is once you've gotten your neck right, all you need to do is add as many of these as you need. You want to create a garment that is rectangular, right? So you just add as many, you don't even add halves.
No, just work on holes.
You work on holes and you figure a square or a rectangular pattern for the body, and then you're going to add your sleeves as well the same way. Yeah, so it's super easy actually. Anybody can tailor something like this to their own body because you're actually just building on and on and on. And the only thing you actually need instructions for is the neckline. Yeah. We're doing a neckline with about... it's like a regular neckline that will fit everybody. It's
actually a quite good round neckline because you can make it more wider or more narrow based on the length of the rib. Yeah. Because you see you have quite a lot of things opening to go to work with. But with the ribbing, you can make it bigger or you can make it smaller. Yeah, and so another thing, if you don't want to do a sweater, you could actually just knit a rib, a turtleneck ribbing, and you could just have panels on both sides and do a dicky. Yeah. So there's a lot of possibilities here for what you can do. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to ask for the pattern. Yeah. And we're going to put it on our web shop at arnecarlos.com. So you can go there and purchase the pattern for the neckline of your block sweater, which is going to be so cool, I think. If it's ever finished.
Well, we're going to finish ours, or we're going to at least turn it into a dicky, at least, right?
Yeah. But it's nice when you have finished the rib, then you can put it on and you get the feeling of how much of the blocks you need to have a nice volume on the garment.
Absolutely.
So we can post a picture on this on Instagram.
Yeah, we're going to be posting pictures of probably a dicky,
or a neckline.
Or a neckline anyway, but if you do a neckline, you can do a dicky. I mean, we've already gotten the squares.
I know.
So this actually concludes our spring along. It's been lovely having you here for 6 weeks in a row, and we hope you continue watching us. We've got a lot of great episodes coming this spring and summer. There's stuff, from our bookshelf. Yeah. We've done the tutorial on how we do the finger weaving, the garter bands.
Or how you do it.
Well, yeah, we've done a tutorial on that. There's an update on our dollhouse coming this spring as well. And many other fun things. We're going to get to cooking as well eventually. Maybe towards the end of the summer, we're going to be doing some more of the traditional stuff that went out of fashion. So there's loads of stuff here to enjoy, in addition to the knitting and the crocheting. And obviously, Sit and Knit for a Bit comes every week. So,
This is fun, Carlos.
It is, yeah.
I can't stop.
And now you can't stop. Yes, and even though this is the last episode, Arne, I do want to mention the Prim prize.
The I-cord machine on the go.
Exactly. So if you tag images of your blocks, if you tag images of your flowers, you are eligible to win the mini knitting mill from Prim. which we really love. And Arne, have you ever had an urge to knit an I-cord?
According to you, I had one.
What do you mean according to me?
You said I forgot about it, but I obviously had one in England once.
Yeah, and there was a whole store that was there to witness it too. So Arne was knitting glitter, tinsel, using the tinsel yarn to do I-cord by hand when he could have actually cranked it up in this cute little machine. And this machine can be yours. We're going to continue allowing people to post. So post your images, hashtag Arne Carlos and Arne Carlos Spring. We love seeing the images, and there will be an announcement on Sit in It for a bit. It's coming out of the blue sometime in June, I guess.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but this is fun.
Yeah, and as we said, you can get the pattern for the crochet flowers at arnecarlos.com. You can purchase it there. The blocks are available for free at arnecarlos.com. Select the blog. And you can get the pattern for the neckline as well at arnecarlos.com. So thank you so much for watching. And we look forward to bringing you a new episode. And it's not going to be the spring along anymore from next week, as we're now done with this.
And remember to put on your notifications and be a subscriber.
Yeah.
Or if you're a subscriber, put on the notifications and you won't miss an episode.
And give us a big thumbs up. And get
I have an urge to do ribbing right now.
Yeah, of course you do. And get on the mailing list, because that is the best way to find out what kind of shenanigans we are up to.
Yes.
Yeah. So this has been lovely, and we look forward to hanging out with you again for Sit in It for a bit, and also next week. So see you soon.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.